Hi everyone, this is a real quick assembly video for the plier rack. So when it arrives, you're gonna get two big pieces, these guys, and then you'll get a bag of supplies for the assembly. Let's talk about exactly how you put this together for the two configurations. So inside the bag, you've got your 4 posts, and then you have your 4 screws. Each of the posts should have a threaded screw on either end, and I'll talk about how those are used and we work with them. These guys are going to be for if you decide to wall mount or if you really want to screw your plier rack to your bench in a flat position, benchtop position. So that's going to be up to you, but I did include them. Okay, first thing that I've done here is I've taken one screw out of the spacer on each of the 4 spacers. I'm going to take that screw and I'm going to insert it from the back side of the frame. This part of the assembly is going to be exactly the same no matter what configuration you're going to do. The back side of the frame, the screws fit nice and tight. You can just insert them a little bit and then screw them the rest of the way with a screwdriver or an electric screwdriver like this. And we're going to do that 4 times on all 4 sides. Okay, now that I have the screws inserted, what I'm going to do is take the posts and I'm just going to screw those posts onto the screw. And then I'm going to tighten it down either with an electric screwdriver or a handheld Phillips screwdriver. Nice and tight. I'm going to do that to all 4, so all 4 of my posts will be sticking up. Now that I have all 4 of my posts installed, here is the point in which you determine how you're going to want to mount it. So the reason why I put these on first is because if you mount it and then put these on, it's hard to get your screwdriver in here to be able to tighten that up. So this works the best as far as the order of operations go. So if you're just going to do a flat mount, then you can just unscrew these other screws, stick your plier plate here. You'll know the front because it has the Lion Punch Forge logo, and you're going to just put all 4 of those screws on there and you have a plier rack for your bench. If you are going to wall mount this is the time that these 4 screws on the flat, or 4 holes on the flat section, are going to take and accept your screws that we had talked about for wall mount or bench mount, permanent bench mount type situation. So now that you have this, you can decide exactly how you want to mount it. All right, so here's the front. I'm going to go ahead, and the front plate has a little more tolerance for these screws to go in because it's going to be a little less precarious. So we're going to go ahead and insert those screws, all 4. I get them started a little bit, and then once all the screws are inserted, I'll go back and I'll tighten them all down. What this allows you to do is it allows for some play and movement for you to be able to get all of those screws aligned the way that you want to. And then once they're in, we'll go back with our screwdriver or our electric screwdriver and tighten these all up. And we will tighten this down. All 4. And I'll put together for a bench mount. There we go. All the screws are tightened down. If you want these to be in there more permanently, I recommend taking some Loctite or even a small tiny dab of super glue and putting it on the thread of the screw before you screw it in. And that's going to help keep those screws nice and tight and in place. Sometimes screws over time like to loosen up, and so the thread locking capabilities of both thread locker like Loctite or sometimes even super glue or a little tiny other epoxy glue or whatever you may have around on the threads, screw it in. That's going to keep things nice and tight. So there you are. So here's one option, and here is the wall mount option. all with the same thing. It just depends on how you configure it. If you are going to configure this to a wall mount, once these are on, your plate is going to flip in an opposite direction so that the line punch forge is facing so you can read it when you mount it. So if you mount it, the line punch forge is now going to be down in this corner here. I hope that helps, and you're always welcome to reach out and ask me if you have any questions. Have a good day.